Okay, I want to show you another example for using the color banding that we can achieve by using formulas within the conditional formatting realm. And what I want to show you, I'm going to show you a couple things here. First one, we have some data here, and primarily it involves order dates and ship dates. And what we want to do is make it so where for any of the orders, any of the transactions where the order date equals the ship date, meaning we're shipping on the same day, which is a great thing we're doing for our customer, we want to be able to see which ones those are just at a glance, not having to like look at the date and try to figure it out. So we want to make it so where those sales that are equal, same day shipping, those will show up in a green band going all the way across, just like you saw on the odd and even banding earlier in the earlier video. So I want to see that. And then for any of them where it exceeds, let's say, 3 days, where it took 3 or more days for it to ship, we want to see that in red, let's say. So we'll end up with something like this. I'll show you the done version here. It'll look like this. So here's some of the same day ones. Those are the ones in green there, right? And then you'll see this one, it came in on the 5th as far as the order goes, but it didn't go out until the 8th. That's like 3 days, see? So we want that to turn the red color, all right? Pretty cool. I mean, it's a great way to enhance your data worksheets with this kind of information. And again, like I said in the last video, the module 3 in Excel has nothing but, I should say, conditional formatting. I mean, all kinds of stuff like this, other things. It's just amazing. So if you're interested in this stuff, check that out. You won't be disappointed. So anyway, so we're going to set this up. So we're going to go back to our original here. And the first thing we need to do is select the entire area that we want to have this formatting in. So we don't want it on row 1, so we're just going to start at row 2. And I'll just do a Control Shift right arrow key and then a Control Shift down arrow key, and that'll take me down a little over 700 rows. And then just to get my bearings, I'm just going to go back to the top using my elevator. So I get back there and I'll move this over here. So there we are. All right. So that's your first step. Now the next thing we need to do is set up the formula for the same day. So where if it's same day shipping, we want that whole row to turn green. So we'll go ahead over here in the Home tab, and we'll go over here to the conditional formatting. All right. So we'll click onto that. And then we'll go down to where it says New Rule, and then use a formula. So in this slot right here, we're going to put in what we need to put in. Now, the formula needs to kind of perform like a little test, almost like an if function would, but we're not going to use if in here. We're going to go down into where we need to put the formula. We're going to start out with equal, and then we're going to do a dollar symbol, and we're going to specify A2. Now what we're saying here is, in essence, if A2 equals and then $ B2. If that happens, then I want it to turn green. Now, your question would be, what's with the dollar symbol? The dollar symbol has to go on each of the column references, and the sole purpose of that is to make sure that when the color coding or color formatting banding goes in, it does it on the whole row and not just on the first cell of that row, all right? So we don't want just, whatever it is, this one colored, we want the whole thing colored in, all right? That's what the dollar symbol does. That's the sole purpose of it. So if you leave off the dollar symbol, it's going to work, but it's only going to do it for one cell per row, okay? So, muy importante there. All right, now, next thing. We need to specify what we want it to look like. So we're going to go down here to Format. We'll go to Fill, and we'll say we want it to be like a green, background. So we'll just pick that. All right. We'll hit OK. And then we'll hit OK again. And there we go. So you can see what we got so far. Now I'm going to keep it highlighted because I want to do the next rule now. So that's our first rule. So there it is. That looks good. You can see on the matching dates, they're all green there, right? So that looks pretty good. Now, again, we're going to do our next formula, which is now going to say if the difference in days is 3 or more, then I want that to turn red. Okay, so, 1 day, no days is great. 1 day or 2 day, that's okay. But if it's 3 or more, that gets to be a little concerning. So we definitely want to have those kind of pop out at us. So we want those to turn red. So we've got the area selected already. We'll go to conditional formatting, new rule, use a formula, and now what do we put in here? Now in this case, what we're going to do is our formula is going to be equal, okay? And then we'll put a little parenthesis in there and we'll say, okay, if what? If $B2, okay, minus $A2, okay, equals, and I guess we really don't need the parenthesis in there, but we'll just leave it in there. If that, whatever that ends up being, I guess we'll do it this way. So we got that. So if we take that and subtract that out, and if that is now greater than or equal to 3, so that's what we want. Yeah, so we definitely want the parentheses in there. So because if we then it's going to think that we want to do A2 greater than or equal to 3, and that's not going to work. It needs to be whatever this ends up being. If that is greater than or equal to 3, then format, red, hit OK. See, so that's what we want to do, right? But important with those dollar symbols in there for sure, right? We hit OK, and there we go. And as you can see, like the first two, they're just like a day apart, no big deal. But this goes from the 3rd and gets shipped on the 6th, that's 3 days. 5 to 8, that's 3 days. 6 to 9, 3 days. 7 to 10, 3 days. I don't know if we've got any 4-day ones in there, but nonetheless, there they are. Okay, so very good stuff there. All right, so that's one. All right, now I'm going to go to the next example here. And so here we have a listing of all of our invoices and status as far as if they've been paid or not, if they're past due, and so forth. The first thing I want to do, and we'll do this, we got two things we're going to do, two different kinds of colored bars here. The first one's going to be if the invoice has been paid. So if column C has paid in it, not only do we want that to turn green, we want the whole row to turn green. So that'll let us know that, okay, well, at least we got paid, and those are the ones that we've gotten paid on. All right? That'll be the first one. So I'll show you the done version here. So over here, you'll see on here the paid and all that. The other aspect is if it hasn't been paid and it's past due, if it's, let's say it's over 30 days old. So basically, if it's over 30 days old, it hasn't been paid in 30 days at least, and it hasn't been paid yet, then we want that to turn red. All right, so a little bit of a up from the last one we did there, but nonetheless, it's still pretty pertinent. So, and I also, by the way, put some color coding up here, a little legend. So when people see the bars, they say, oh, the green, that means they paid it. White, it's current, no big deal yet. And red, it's past due. All right, so those are the colors we're going to use as well. All right, so first thing, we're going to go ahead and we're going to select what we want to be as formatted with this conditional formatting. So we're going to go to A4, Control, Shift, right arrow key, down arrow key, and that should, yep, that took us all the way to the bottom. Look how many, we got almost 70,000 invoices, you guys. So pretty wild. What I did too, I don't know if you can see this, I kind of locked in rows 1, 2, and 3 so we can kind of scroll and know what that information means there. All right, that's in another video. All right, so we've got the area selected. So the first thing we're going to do is anything that's been paid, okay, then we want that to turn green, right? So we're going to go to conditional formatting, new rule, and then use a formula. Now here's what the formula is going to be. We're going to type in equal, okay? Dollar symbol. So think of that as like if. So if what? If C4, now here's why we're doing this. You know what the dollar symbol is. C4 is the first cell that could possibly have something in it, okay? Maybe not paid, but it could possibly have something in it. So whatever that first cell is, you specify it, and then what it will do is it will search all the way down that column. Okay, so that's what that does. So that's it. So if starting with C4, it's equal to, and because we're looking for the word paid, and that's a text item, we got to put in quotation marks P-A-I-D. Doesn't matter how you type it in as far as the case. So if C4, if any of the rows or if any of the cells have paid in them, that whole row from A all the way over to I will be colored in, right? And what color do we want? Well, we're going to go with green, so we'll hit Format, Fill, we'll go with the light green, hit OK, and there it goes. So there's our first one. So that looks good, all right? Now, the second thing we're going to do is for all those that are 30 days and haven't been paid. 30 days, or I should say over 30 days and haven't been paid. So we still have this selected, so that saves us a little time there. We'll go back into Format, or Conditional Format, New Rule, use a formula, and then we're going to go down to here. And this is going to get a little bit more involved because we want two different criteria. Number one, it has to be, as far as the aging goes, greater than 30 days, okay? And as far as column C here, that has to be not paid. So we need to have it where this column is over 30 and this column does not have paid in it, okay, for each of the rows. And if that happens, those are the ones that are going to turn red. So we're going to type in equal, and we're going to type in A and D, left parenthesis. Now we're doing and because we want two criteria and we want both of them to be relevant. So it has to be not paid and it has to be over 30 days. So that's why we have the and in there. So then what we're going to put in here is a dollar symbol and then D4, right? Because that's where the aging is at. So that's the first aging one, right? And starting with that, we're looking for anything greater than 30, okay? And then a comma, all right? And then we're going to do a dollar symbol, and now in this case, the letter C, and then 4, and that would represent the first cell that could possibly have maybe paid in it, all right? And that has to be, in this case, not equal to paid. In other words, not have paid in it. Now, the way we do that is to get the not, is we put a less than, greater than symbol in there, and then in quotation marks, the word paid. And that's it, all right? And then close off the parenthesis. All right, so it has to be both greater than 30 days and not paid, all right? And if that happens, then we want it to be, I don't know, light red or whatever, all right? So there it is. Hit OK, and there we go. All right. Looks good. So again, hopefully you can use some of this on some of your worksheets. I think it's very pertinent, very popular. It's very popular in the classes that I teach, the webinars that I do. I mean, this is good stuff. People are just eating this stuff up. So eat it up, start using it. Appreciate you watching the video. Take care.